Welcome to English Impulse, the podcast for English learners and, well, basically everyone.
Every episode, Claire and I chat about the latest trends, news, and of course, all the juicy gossip.
Hi, Annie.
Hi, Claire.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so I think, Annie, we should talk today something on a lighter note, given all this doom and gloom around us. So I'd like to talk about, did you hear at the beginning of October, this brazen heist in the Louvre Museum in Paris?
Did I hear about it? I love that story. So let's just go over it again.
Yeah,
just to clarify what we're talking about.
Yeah.
There were 4 people who basically cut into a window of the Louvre.
Well, they went up on this basket.
They would have had a little basket carrier, right? Cut in through a window, used some power tools to steal 8 pieces of French crown jewels.
A little bit of bling.
A little bit of bling. A little bit of bling worth 88 million euros.
Oh my God.
I know. Well, the funny thing is they took 8 pieces out of the Louvre, but they dropped one. So
They dropped the crown?
They
The
got
crown?
away with 7 pieces of the royal jewels.
And apparently the one that fell on the floor of the crown was absolutely destroyed. I mean, trying to clean up that, it's irretrievable, apparently. Well, I mean, obviously it's still worth something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But the thing is, the thing that's so great about this story is that everyone loves a good heist.
Everyone loves a good heist.
That's
Everyone
right.
loves a white glove robbery, as we say.
Yeah, it's there's something fascinating about it.
But has this happened before?
Well, funny thing is that this was not actually the first time the Louvre was heisted.
Really?
Because in 1911, there was this Italian handyman that worked at the Louvre, and he was not happy that the Mona Lisa was in France and not in Italy, where he thought it belonged.
Oh, he had a point.
So the man took the painting, hid in a closet, and escaped the next day with it under his clothes, and simply walked home and kept it for 2 years in his house.
And was he caught eventually?
Well, he tried to sell it 2 years later, not to Italy, I should say. and so after 2 years of it sitting in his house, he tried to sell it and then he was caught. No, but it doesn't take away that he got it out of the Louvre.
Exactly. I think they should seriously look at their security system.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Because as we know, this one happened in the middle of the day.
Yeah. I think that was the thing which surprised everybody as well. I mean, these
That's right.
daytime robberies, I think they're just so classic. Which brings another very famous one, which was the Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower.
Someone stole the Eiffel Tower?
Well, no, not exactly. But this guy in 1925 sold it, in fact, twice. Now, obviously, he didn't actually get away with it, but the fact that he did it twice was kind of pushing his luck. The first time, what he did was he cajoled government officials.
Uh-huh.
And again, this is something I think we should talk about, the difference between scams and cons. Because this guy managed to befriend government officials, to get the papers, to put in a bid. And in fact, he was selling it to scrap dealers.
Like to dismount the
Well,
Eiffel Tower.
That wasn't really what he was worried about. He just wanted the money, and in fact, he did. And he got the money, fled with the money, and then tried the same thing again. I don't know how years later or a few years later, and that time he was caught. I mean, talk about risking it for the second time.
Wow, you're right. That's a proper con.
Exactly. So, not all scams are cons, but all cons are scams.
Explain. Yes, please.
So, scams are not necessary. Scams are when people are deceived, they're robbed of money, of goods or assets. And nowadays, unfortunately, it could be just technology and there's nothing to do with their vulnerability.
Yeah,
It
we all
could be the
have
vulnerability of-
examples of those.
Exactly. Whereas a con, and the word comes from con artist, which
Right,
is
right.
confidence artist. Confidence trickster, whereby there's a whole relationship building,
That's right.
gaining somebody's confidence.
That's right.
And when you gain their confidence,
You attack.
that's when you scam them.
Yeah. There's lots of good movies on this. No?
There is.
Yeah.
But there are reasons why people are, I mean, again, are you sympathetic with somebody who's been conned? Or are you more sympathetic with someone who's been scammed?
Oh, I think I think it depends on the motives, no, or like how you're being conned, because obviously there's people who are very vulnerable who may be able, like, might be very sympathetic to somebody who, I don't know.
Yes, exactly. Emotional cons, which I think are the saddest. But again, these con artists are attacking vulnerability.
That's
which,
right.
It could be emotional. It could be financial.
Yes,
And
in that sense, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's a financial reason and somebody's just trying to get more out of their investment, maybe I don't feel so
exactly,
bad
because
for them.
because it's greed.
Yeah,
And if it's
yeah.
too good to be true, it usually is.
Yeah,
So-
but then I don't know. I mean, yes, that's still a con, but it's not necessarily about a confidence thing. It's more about I want more for my bang for my buck.
But what does a con artist do? It attacks their vulnerability.
Yes,
So
true.
I'm telling
Okay,
them that
true.
I'm a financial expert,
Yes.
and if I can make you like 10 times richer
Yes.
in a year, why? Because you believe me. You believe me.
Yes,
And
yes,
all of
yes,
that
yes,
believing
yes,
in
yes.
me takes time.
Yes, it does. It does.
And
it
then the
does.
other one again is the social elite.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
so important in society. You really need to know me because I can take you places. I can introduce you to people.
That's also their vulnerability, no?
But that's it.
Attacking their
But
yeah.
that's the whole thing of confidence
yeah.
tricksters. That's the whole thing, and so therefore, where
Yeah.
do our sympathies lie?
That's right. No?
That's the big dilemma.
It's
And
funny if you think about there was a TV show that was like super famous all over Spain and then went international, The Money Heist.
yes,
People loved that show. Like loved it.
exactly. Even though there were some bad people and they were doing
Totally,
bad
yes.
things, but they were robbing the central bank.
That's right.
And that's
people loved
everybody's
that.
money.
Yes, and everyone was like cheering for it, even though they were like robbing everyone's money.
Yeah. And again, I think that's they're cons, and we understand that they're attacking people's vulnerability, and sometimes can be justified. Well, it can never really be justified, but
No.
sometimes you can say, "Oh well, greed is greed. You should have known."
Yeah.
And then there are scams, which nowadays with AI, where do you put these type of scams
Yeah.
where somebody's voice?
That is the scariest ones. Yeah, that for me, that's very scary. That happened to my dad. It was like somebody mimicked the voice of my nephew and called him saying, "Grandpa, I'm in a terrible spot. I'm in prison. I need money." And it was, like my poor dad was in a real situation there.
And why wouldn't
no?
you believe it? Why
Exactly.
wouldn't you? And and these type of scams again.
right.
Are they confidence tricks? I don't know. They're just too fast. There's
They're
there's no
too-
gaining
yes.
confidence. What they're doing is
That's
they're
right.
preying on our vulnerability
That's
of
right.
being time limited.
Or preying on your vulnerability that it's your nephew or it's your grandson or it's like someone you trust and love. And it sounds exactly like them.
Yes,
It's
it's frightening
very
how they're
scary.
improving, because I did
Yes.
get I don't think it was a phone call. I think it was a message, and it was my son was in danger. The only problem is my son was standing beside me.
Well, luckily for you, luckily for you and your son that it wasn't me.
Yeah, but they can be frightening, and they really, they-
things
they
are getting
really can.
trickier and trickier.
Yeah. So scams and cons, be aware.
Yeah. You were saying the other day that I think this is like a really good idea, that we should have some kind of code word
Oh, yes, I
with
heard
our
that.
family members.
I think that's a really good idea.
So if
Yeah.
somebody does call you in this situation, and it's like, it's now or never, and you can say, okay, give me the code word.
Yes.
No?
I
And
heard
then
that, and
if
I think
they
that's a
don't-
very good solution. I think
think
all
it's
parents
excellent.
should think about it. So what kind of things could you use? It has to be something that only your children would know, or only your, for example, one example I heard with your partner. What book are you reading? Now,
Yeah.
the only person, if you're a reader, the only
Yes.
person that knows what book you're reading right now
Is your partner.
would be your partner.
That's
Now,
right.
if you're not a reader, then you could think of something else. But for
Yeah.
example, with your kids, what again, I imagine you'd have to update it all the time.
Exactly, because you can't, and you shouldn't, just like your regular passwords, you shouldn't be using like names of cities you used to live in or names of cities they were born in. Because that would be,
Never use 1, 2, 3, 4.
that's right, exactly.
And yet loads of people do. Or password. As your password.
Exactly, password is your password. Yeah, so it has to be something, maybe some kind of like made up word, like nose hair. Something that like nobody would think of, right?
Or
Like
something exactly, or something that only you and your kids know.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. I think it is a good idea.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other tricks for dealing with scammers?
Well, luckily in this moment, my dad said to this scammer, he said, I understand you're in a really bad situation. I can't give you the money right now. Call me back in 10 minutes. In those 10 minutes, my dad went and talked to my sister and found out that no, that's not happening at all.
Good for him, because your dad's
yeah.
elderly.
Exactly. He was very smart in that situation.
He was. Well, that would be good. That's good advice as well, to
That's
just say, stop, bring me back.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're, it's such an urgent situation, and I know that the person was saying, well, I only have one phone call and so forth, but like my dad said, well, you'll find a way to call me back.
Yeah.
No, and like I can't do anything like without thinking it through.
Yeah. But the problem is a lot of these people, they're so insistent.
Oh yeah, they are.
That's part of the confidence trick as well.
That's
they
right.
just don't give up.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know what I would do if somebody was calling and saying it was my daughter and they needed help. And
Well, of course, again, you're attacking your vulnerability.
That's right. That's
It's going to hurt you. And again, the stress element, time limited. You're busy. When we're taken out of our day-to-day routine.
Yeah.
That's when we're caught.
That's right.
We're busy. I have to get this bus, have to do this. And somebody out of the blue calls and says something to you. And it just, the perfect moment to con you.
Well, and the other thing is I guess we need to be more conscious of these things, right?
Yeah.
That this can happen, and this is something real that's happening today. And with AI, it's getting harder and harder to tell the truth.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
So, bueno, that's what we should tell people.
Exactly.
No, let's
Listeners, beware.
That's right. You can enjoy the heists, the stories that are happening in other places.
It is on my bucket list, by the way. A white
Don't
glove
say
robbery.
that.
Wouldn't it be? Oh, why not? It'd just be beautiful. Just, I don't know, go out with a bang.
There is something about like the strategy of it all, no? Like
Yeah, but it's all in the planning, and then being able to pull it off.
that's why I love this Ocean's 11. That kind of like all the details and that go into it.
Yeah, and that feeling when you get away with it. I mean, just walking into a museum and just walking out with a painting and getting away with it.
Yeah.
Mind you, I always think those kind of things that I could maybe rise to that, but I wouldn't know how to sell it. That would be
right.
my,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be worth millions, but I wouldn't know who to turn to when it comes to selling it.
Well, if we think about the guy who stole the Mona Lisa, I think the moral of the story is don't sell it. Just keep it at home and say, wow, I did that.
Yeah. But I think
Just be proud of what you did.
Exactly. That's probably what he did for 2 years. Actually, he looked at there's no bread in the fridge.
All right. So today, everyone, remember, if you're going to do a heist, don't sell what you stole.
Or at least find somebody before you do.
True. And make a password with your family.
Definitely. I think that is the seriously good advice.
I agree.
And don't be scammed.
That's right. Okay, everyone.
Okay, take care till next time.
Bye.
Bye.